Hi, Internet Phenomenon fans. We had a web hangout this morning planned with Bret Thonpson, a world-class copywriter, and I don't know if you found out in the last few days there's been massive problems with Gmail. Gmail was down for several hours. This morning we have literally been, if there was a technical problem to be had, we've had it. We've had every single technical problem that you could possibly imagine. So for those of you that came onto the live webinar at 10 a.m. this morning and found that it wasn't there, I apologise for that. We did eventually manage to get Bret on the call, and so what we did is we just recorded it for you so that you could still grab the content. Now even that was plagued with technical problems, and we actually missed the very beginning part of that webinar or that conversation where Bret got to share his story about how he got into copywriting and how his copywriting skills have basically sold sort of in excess of $220 million worth of products and services for himself and for his clients, and how he got started in that whole process. Unfortunately, that is lost forever in the matrix. There's nothing we can do about that now. You will be happy to know, however, that we did manage to capture the really juicy, chunky bit. So the bonus for you is that there's no fluff. We just go directly and straight into the really juicy tips from Bret. I actually managed to get some amazing tips out of him. Literally, had I hired a copywriter, a world-class copywriter, and to consult with him for an hour, it would have cost us thousands of dollars, and we got at least as good as that, if not better, out of Bret, because he just started to flow and give us some amazing stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to head over to the video. We're just going to pick up right where we actually managed to solve some of the technical problems. I've added in some key points for you just to help you get the really good points locked into your mind. And make the video a bit interesting. We even lose video at one point and we just get a still of Bret. Don't let that put you off. He keeps talking. Honestly, we have soldiered on through this morning's technical issues, but even then he still gives some amazing tips. So get a notepad out and a pen and get ready to take some really good notes about how to create killer copywriting. And over to Bret.
Where the magic is. That's you can. The thing is, if anyone wants to get very good at and start boosting conversions, and this is one of the highest paid skills that I've ever learned now, just like Mel said, and I have to say that the most important thing you can do is understand the client, and you don't have to be a wordsmith. I guess that's what the good news for people is. You don't have to be a wordsmith, because I wasn't. All you have to do is understand the psychology. Well, any copywriter taking on a project will send the business owner a questionnaire, right? And in the questionnaire, it'll say, "Tell me about your client. What's their 3 biggest frustrations? What keeps them awake at night with worry? Why won't they buy from you? And all those kind of what makes you different. All those things." Most copywriters will take that and write the copy based on that. But I understand this: the business owner is not the client. Okay, understand. So as a business owner, I'll say to the business owner, you're not your client. So I'll ask the business owner, can you give me a list of 10 of your clients right now, people, some of your favorite clients, some of your clients who've only just recently come on board, and I want to give them a call. And I'll ring them and I'll say, hey, g'day Bob, it's Bret here, how you going? And they say, oh, good mate. I said, listen, you don't know me from a bar of soap. I'm working with John's Yarn, helping him with a campaign, and I asked for his 10 best clients, and your name is at the top of the list. Do you mind if I ask you some questions to help us? And I do that call over and over and over again. Everyone says, yeah, sure, no worries. And then I ask them, tell me about your story. How did you come across John's products? And then they'll talk about that, and inside that story, I'll find out what hesitations they had, who else they were looking at, what if there's objections they had, and why they ordered, and where the urgency was, and all that kind of stuff. See, that's the goal, because here's the thing: our biggest enemy that people face in marketing is not having the best headline or the most irresistible offer or all the best testimonials. It's actually to overcome clutter, all right? And everyone's just bombarded with so many marketing messages So if you're going to reach out to them with a Google ad or Facebook ad or an email or sales or whatever, your headline has to really just jump off the page and pull them in, right? It has to interrupt their thinking and give them reason to know more. So to do that, you have to understand what kind of conversations they're having in their head every single day. Now, what are they thinking about? See, if they've got problems that's in their mind, in the back of their mind, if you can describe somebody's problem better than they can, then they automatically think you have the answer. Right? So you have to understand people's problems, and you have to be able to communicate it straight right between the eyes, so you can with your headlines. I guess what I'm trying to say is you've got to try and enter the conversation they're having in their mind and give them reason to know more. And that's really the research that I go to, is just try and find what the market is feeling right at this time, because the market's changed. Something that worked 5 years, 2 years, maybe even a year or 6 months ago might not work right now. So you've got to your market has to be current, and people's people's knowledge and awareness of the market will always change. So you've got to really be specific for what's working right now. Does that make sense? Yeah. So mate, that's really where I spend most of my time before I even start typing or putting pen to paper. Um, the other thing I got very good at was with that knowledge and understanding what was really going to make people tick is coming up with a big idea, right? And this is something I'm probably renowned most for in the industry of copywriting. Is yes, I can write great copy that converts, but I'm also known as the big idea guy, because I still think every single person is one big idea away from their $1 million payday, right? And I've given that my ideas to people that made like millions of dollars, and this is where the big dollars is. And generally the big idea is to do with generally the offer. If you can come up with an irresistible offer for people, like if you do your research, you find what the market wants, and you can capture their attention and get them to read. But if your offer is really weak and unemotive, and then they're not going to buy. But if you can really crank your offer up and make it irresistible and make it relevant, then that's the second thing you've got to get very good at, is come up with a big idea and craft an amazing offer. And so it's irresistible for them, right? But the big idea doesn't just have to be in the offer. It can be the strategy. I've helped. I know one of my clients approached me and said, Brett, we've got a product we want introduced to our database, and they said, if you just do exactly what we say, Brett, you will make $500,000 in 4 weeks, right? And anyone hearing that will think, wow, that's pretty awesome. And I had a look at the strategy, and I knew straight away that I could improve it. And I was pretty gutsy of me at the time, because I was fairly green, and I was surrounded by this big corporate group. And I said, look, I can do that if you want, but I can make you a lot more money with a different way. And one guy backed me, and we gave it a go. So instead of earning $500,000 for 4 weeks, I made them $1.6 million in 2 weeks, right? That was because the big idea I had around the strategy. And there's no use going into the strategy now, because the strategy was to do with putting them on an early bird list and building up some anticipation and pointing them to a video sales letter. But that's for another conversation. But so the big idea is do the offer. It could be to do with the strategy, or just finding a smarter and better way to find the clients. Right? It's okay to know where the clients are, but you've got to find an affordable way to get your message to them. So that's how I and to give you guys a bit of some tips on how I come up with big ideas. A lot of people say, oh, Brett, your mind just mustn't stop ticking, and that's true. But for me to come up with big ideas, I've got to relax and really get calm and kind of get into this meditation state. But I'm not like a tree hugging hippie or anything. But I just got to kind of get real relaxed, and that's where the creativity is. See, most people think, and they're all busy in the mind, but understand where your creativity and memory is. It's when in that really relaxed state. It's kind of like if you're at a seminar and someone approaches you and they say, oh, hey, Mike, how you going? And you don't know their name, you forget, you should. And you're trying to rattle your brain thinking of it, but you just can't do it, and it's kind of embarrassing. But then when you drive home that night and you're relaxed in the car, then ding, your name comes in. It's because you're more relaxed, right? So the big idea happens when you relax and give yourself time to think. And most people, they don't give themselves time and space to think, right? And that's something I always do. It's in my diary, and that's where you can really get better results. I know. Just a quick story, Mike, and Isaac Newton, known for one of the greatest scientists in the world. He was a well-known scholar in Cambridge University, but the university had to shut down because of the plague, and so he had nowhere to learn. And so for several months, he just stayed and thought and thought and thought. And at that time, he came up with the world's greatest scientific breakthroughs because he stopped learning and started to think. Right, and that's something I always give myself space for. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, mate, then from that, I'm just trying to cram in. I hope the speed's okay. I'm just kind of cramming in as much as I can here. Rightio. Mate, then that's when I start. When I've done that, in and around that time, I write you write like a fact sheet of all the things about your product and all the benefits, all the features, and interesting facts, and that kind of becomes like this fact sheet is kind of like the pool of where you'll dive into to create the copy. So it doesn't have to be written fantastically. Just write out bullet points of all the interesting facts and the benefits and just like that. And that's when I'll start working on headlines. And headlines is 80% of your success. You can have the most stunning looking website, an amazing video, the incredible offer, and you can have someone like me or some of the world's best copywriters write the copy. But if your headline is weak and unemotive and doesn't grab them, then they won't even scroll down and read anymore. So I spend a big part of my time on that. And it's estimated when people read a newspaper, they stay on the page. The average person stays on the page for 3 seconds, right? They're just flipping over for 3 seconds. And all they're doing is they're scanning headlines. And it's the same with the websites. So your headline is 80% of your success. So I spend a huge amount of time on headlines, and also pre-heads and sub-headlines, that area. And the purpose of the headline is, number one, to grab their attention, right? But it's got to do more than that. It's actually got to create interest, okay? Because grabbing their attention is one thing, but it's like if you're in the car looking out the window, something can grab your attention, but you can just forget it. But if there's something interesting about it, your eyes will follow it, and you'll want to know more. That's the same with a headline. You've got to get their attention. You've got to get create interest. And the purpose of a headline is one thing and one thing only, and that is to influence them to read the next line underneath. And the purpose of the next line, the sub-headline, its only purpose is just to motivate them to read the next line. And in the opening of your sales letter, the purpose of that is to get them to read the next line. And if you can get them to read about nod their head 4 times, then they're going to read a lot more, pretty much all the letter, you know. So that's and for me to write headlines, to come up with a good headline, I might have to write over 100 headlines just to come up with one. And people say, gosh, that's a bit crazy, but what do you think about it? Look, you have this gut feel, right? And the way I identify a good headline is I try and get the most powerful emotive message across in the shortest amount of words, right? Now, sometimes I might have to add words to add extra emotion, but I don't. Sometimes I have headlines which are 25 words long, but I try to keep them tight as can. And you just take out words and play around with words and take things out and add things in. Just try and make it as tight as you can, right? And I try and get them create curiosity or intrigue or controversy, and those kind of things will really jump out. And I'll give you an example. One of my favourite headlines, or one of the guys I've learnt most from, is Gary Halbert, and he did a full page. His client was releasing a bottle of perfume into the market, and an average copywriter would have come up with a headline like "Essence of the Night" or something lame like that, right? But he's a pro copywriter, right? So he came up with a headline that said, wife of Hollywood actor swears under oath that her new perfume does not contain illegal sexual stimulants. And then underneath it said, to prove it, they're giving away 10,000 bottles for free at Versace Hotel or something like that. Right, and he did a full-page newspaper ad in Wall Street Times, I think it was, and it caused an absolute traffic jam. 7,000 people turned up to that launch, and it was just one of the most successful launches ever. Because the headline is, I mean, if you're flicking through the newspaper and you see Hollywood wife swears under oath her new perfume does not contain illegal sexual stimulants, like you think, what the heck? And then you can't help but read more. And then the irresistible offer, 10,000 free bottles, all that kind of stuff. So, mate, it's that's the I always try and write a headline. What would Gary Halbert do? Just something really edgy, real controversial, and something like that, because you just want them to keep reading, and that's the whole thing. Does that make sense? See, the thing is, telling the story is one of the best things you can do, and most people don't understand the importance of it. Most people go into, I know, have you got this problem, and do this, and then here's the benefits, boom, 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 boom. And that's great, but if you really want to pull people in, then pull them straight into the story, right? The reason being is because we all grew up on stories, bedtime stories. We all love watching the DVD or going to the cinemas. I call it going to the movies. It's kind of like visual Valium, where you just go there and zone out, and you just zone into a story. Same with copywriting. If you can pull them into a story, what it does, it isolates all the clutter, because once people start a story, they want to finish it, right? They want to see what happens at the end. And so the more they read, the more they buy, or the more they tell, the more you sell. So that's why I always try and look for a story. So the story could be about how the product was made, or a special ingredient, or it could be of the owner of the product. It could be one person who used it and got amazing results, or whatever. But the story is what people get attracted to, because in stories, see, if you do marketing, which is just statements, these statements can be challenged, but stories are believed. When people go into a story, they can kind of see themselves in it, and it gives them hope and belief, and they kind of it's just more belief, and that's one of the biggest hurdles you've got to overcome too, is trust and belief. Because the internet is the most distrusted medium on the planet, right? So if you don't overcome that nice and early, people aren't going to buy from you if they don't believe you. They're not going to buy from you if they don't trust you. So a story is a good way to really make the connection with your reader, and they won't believe what you say, that they believe what others say. So that's stories is a good way to do that. This is one of the biggest things that people get stuck with, and that is where to start. And here's the thing: that someone who does copywriting for a living, all us pro copywriters, we know the rule, and that is, if you get stuck and you've got a writing block, that just means you haven't researched the market enough. And it's simple as that. But I understand not everyone's going to go to the depth and the levels that we go in researching. So a lot of reason why people freeze and they just get writing block is because their expectations on themselves are way too high, right? And it's especially hard if you're trying to write for yourself. I don't know if you've ever had to write your own bio. It's not easy, right? You got to. It's easy to get someone else to tell you how good you are, but a lot of people put so much pressure on themselves. So I always, and it happens with me, I give myself permission to be bad, permission to suck at writing. So when I write 100 headlines, I always start with 100 with writing headlines. Okay, if I get stuck, and I could just start off with the most lamest headlines. It's embarrassing. I look at it and think, gosh, how can I call myself a copywriter? It could be like if you're in the property game, it would be how to get rich in property in 12 months. And I think, gosh, that's so lame. But at least I'm starting somewhere. Then I'll try and be more edgy, and I'll just keep going, because what we're trying to achieve is the flow. You know, the flow when your ideas are coming in, you can't type fast enough. See, that can happen with, meditation's one way, but Gary Halbert said, motion will always beat meditation. So to get in the motion is just be disciplined to try and do 100 headlines or 100 bullet points, and then the flow will happen. It might not happen until you're at number 70, I don't know, but just be disciplined to do it. And the good news is, you might think, well, what am I going to do with the rest of the other 99? well, they haven't gone to waste. You can turn them into sub-headlines, pre-headlines, also bullet points, and email subject lines. So they're all kind of refugees of your marketing in other ways. You can use them. But mate, that's definitely one way to crack through. It's just really just give yourself permission to suck and just write it, because copywriting, the first draft can be bad, and that's okay. I generally we write like when we do our editing stage, we might kind of cut out and get rid of, it could be 25% of what we wrote, just to tighten it up, tighten it up and make it really compelling, and don't waffle on. Just make your interesting points. But see, copywriting can never be too long, but it can be too boring, right? So you want to try and make it interesting and tighten it up. And it happens in editing. You can't expect to write a cracker straight off the go. You've got to understand that first draft is always going to be a little bit waffle on, if that makes sense. And another thing also, mate, is to write in a conversational tone. It's very, very important that people. I was lucky because I went all through school, didn't really read a book, and I was taught to in copywriting to write as you speak. Okay, so in a conversational manner. Most people write and they're institutionalized. They feel compelled to use big words, big sentences, and all that kind of stuff. But that's what will bore people, and they'll start skim reading straight away. So because most people are institutionalized, grew up on textbooks and through high school and university, and I've seen them because my kids are in high school, and I read that and I think, my God, that's putting me to sleep. It's just, it's so bad. But it's important to when I write them to, if you want people to read, understand the more they read, the more they buy, and you've got to increase the readability. That is, so you just do short sentences, short words, and if there's a simple way to do it, go that way, because the comprehension rate of the audience, the Westerners, is equivalent to a 13 or 14-year-old, right? So I used to get my sales copy, and I'd give it to my twin boys at the time when they were 13 or 14, and I'd get them to read it out aloud. I'd have to bribe them, of course, but they'd read it out aloud. And if they tripped up anywhere, I'd say stop. I'd put a red circle around it and get them to keep reading, and then I'd go back and where there was a red circle, I'd just make it easier and I'd dumb it down, because if they stumbled, then my audience will stumble, and then they'll skim read and I'll lose the sale, right? So I know some pro copywriters, they'll go into a supermarket and pay a bag packer $10 to read their ad out to them. Some of the best $10 you could spend, right? And so yeah, mate, that's one thing, is keep it very simple. Don't people hate reading as a rule? That's the way I think. People don't really want to read your stuff. So don't start them off with a big chunky paragraph that's like about 12 lines long. I start them off with one sentence paragraphs, and then maybe 2 sentence paragraphs, occasionally 3 or 4, but then I'll go back down to 1. I'll never have 2 chunky paragraphs next to each other. I'll break it up. I mean, John's a great classic example. You look at his emails, he understands that. It's you've got to ease people into it, because people, they don't really want to read, but if they're interested enough, they'll read. You just got to make it as easy as you can, and just dumb it down and make it a real conversational style. So you leave all the conversational elements in there, like things like, oh, by the way, before I forget, or let me explain, or one other point, and those kind of things. In textbooks, they get rid of those, but in copywriting, you leave them in, because that's the glue that keeps people reading. And John's emails are a classic example. He's really nailed that art. About 5 years ago, I went on a seminar tour and with Mel, and Mel brought me up on stage, and we picked someone from the crowd. I interviewed them, find out all about their business, and I locked myself in a room for 24 hours and wrote a month's worth of marketing. I wrote a long-form sales letter, landing page, autoresponder emails, video scripts, editorial, advertorial, postcards, and I did it in 24 hours. It'd take a good copywriter 4 or 5 weeks, and then I presented it to them on stage. I did that 6 times around Australia, and some of those campaigns are still running successfully right now, 5 years later. So what I did is develop a system where you could write high-class copy in a short amount of time. And I ran events called the 7-hour sales letter, where business owners would turn up with a blank screen. I do a little bit of teaching, give them a chance to write and walk them through and to write a long-form sales letter. And not every business needs a long-form sales letter, but I'll tell you now, learning the skill of writing long-form sales letter is one of the most valuable things you can do, because you can use it in emails, blog posts, video scripts, phone scripts, and whatever. It's really amazing. But in that process, I realised there's a certain structure that you use in sales letters. It's kind of like if you're selling face-to-face or selling from stage. There's a formula to motivate and inspire people to take action. It's the same with the sales copy. And it takes a while to learn, but it's solid and it's predictable. So and I always had this vision. I said, instead of teaching people to do it, it would be cool to have some software where I can ask them all the questions that I ask them in person, like what's your client's biggest problems, what emotions are you feeling, what do you want, what do you desire, what are your objections, all that kind of stuff, and then have software that's married up with all the copy that I've done. But at the time, it was kind of like the movie Avatar. They had the vision, but the technology wasn't there. Well, now the technology has. I've spent about 18 months working on this, and I've got a piece of software where you can get a long-form sales that are specifically targeted to your niche, which nails their problems, their emotions, and currently and all that kind of stuff, and punches out long-form sales that are with copy that I've personally written in a matter of minutes. Right? I understand if someone wanted me to write a sales letter for them, like I said, a campaign would start at 25k, and I'd be and it'll take probably 4 to 5 weeks. But now with this software, you can go in there, answer all the questions yourself, press generate, and it gets married up with all my copy in the right structure, and it punches out a long form sales letter, and it's just going crazy. Everyone's loving it. It's revolutionary, and very, very proud of it. And it's upsetting a lot of copywriters. I must say, I became one of the most admired copywriters to one of the most hated copywriters overnight. So it's doing really well, man. So I'm happy to unless you got any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I can do a little bit of a live demo with interaction from you if you want.
All right. So you were going to demonstrate how your software works.
Okay, cool. Now what I'll do, I'll need your help with this if that's okay. Now I can do it myself, but I quite like getting interaction and as you know, mate, I just sprung it on you right then. This hasn't been set up, has it?
No, it's not a setup. I'm not a ring in.
Alrighty, so mate, let me just awesome, mate. All right, so we're in Copy Sniper, right? And there's cool things here. I've already clicked on Create Edit Sales Page. It brings up this page here where there's a bunch of other sales letters that I've done. And I won't run through that now. What we're going to do is start a brand new sales page. So click that button here.
Yeah.
Now, which type of sales page do you want to build? We'll build a sales page or a squeeze page. We're going to do sales. Will your page include video? Say yes. And the cool thing here, it's so easy. All you got to do is type in your, if you've got a video uploaded to YouTube, you can just type in your YouTube URL, and it'll upload it straight away.
Can you edit this later, Brett?
Yeah, absolutely. You can create as many sales letters as you want, and you can go in and do multiple different variations of it and things like that.
I asked that because I can foresee that we could create a sales page and then actually use it as a script for a video as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I know some of the Copy Sniper members are using some of the copy that I've written and turn it into emails, Facebook ads, and they've really they've just been very creative with it, which is great. Right. Okay. Now, so we're going to hear. This is really what separates this sales letter software from anything else, and that is which category best describes your product and niche. So I'm going to ask this from you, Mike. Pick a category we want to talk about today. What sales do you want to create? Making money, business services, health, fitness, weight loss, personal development. Is there something? Let's just create a live one right now with your help. Is there any?
Sure. We go for health and fitness.
Okay, no worries. So you can pick a number of designs here, all right? So just
Okay.
we'll start with this one. The cool thing is once you've done this, so you can easily click a button and you can change the designs around the copy. It's pretty awesome. Next
Okay.
step. So health and fitness, mate. What 5 dominant emotions does your ideal prospect currently feel? You just tell me. Frustrated, angry, curious, confused, annoyed. You just sing them out.
All right. Well, why don't we go for frustrated?
Frustrated, yeah.
Yeah. I saw you guilty. I saw pop up.
Guilty, yeah. There's also
Yeah. I saw.
over here unhealthy and as well.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit unhealthy then.
Yep. And keep in mind you can type one in here if you want something else that you can't see. So
All right. No
anything
worries.
else?
Yeah, probably. I saw self-conscious. Why don't we hit that one?
Yep.
And scroll down a bit more. Let's see what about unattractive or overweight? Choose overweight.
Okay. Now the next part we're going to just quickly put them in order of priority. So out of all those 5, what would be the number 1, 2, and 3 in order of priority?
Let's put self-conscious at the top. Let's leave guilty at number 2. We'll go frustrated, unhealthy, overweight. That's all right. I like that order.
Excellent. Now the next part is what 5 dominant emotions would your ideal prospect hope to feel?
Okay. Motivated.
Yep.
Energetic on the right there.
Yep.
Confident. I like that one.
Yep.
Strong.
Oh, what was that one?
Strong.
Strong. What is that?
Yeah, it was up a bit.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Yeah. And I saw loved. That's a pretty potent one.
Cool. Now, order of priority? Or are you happy with
Confident. Confident, energetic, strong, loved, motivated. How about that?
Awesome. Now we're going to go to the next step. So far, so good?
Yeah.
What specific
So
problems?
people would be asking people.
What's that?
These are the questions that you typically ask people if you were doing research, basically.
Correct. Yeah. Try and find their clients' emotions and the problems they're facing. So, what specific problems are your prospects currently experiencing? Now, this top bunch is mainly to do with money. So we'll just scroll down until we see something to do with. Here we go. Here's some being overweight, feeling fat, being too skinny. So I'll just wait for your call.
Yeah, okay. So let's put being overweight and being unfit. Feeling, let's go being unhealthy and feeling ugly and unwanted.
Yep.
I'm picking out the ones that are, that seem the juiciest and have an emotional
Yeah, mate, that's smart. The more emotion, the better. That's why, like, embarrassing your family or embarrassing your kids. That's a strong point as well for some people.
Yeah, I sort of like that one. Failing to stay committed.
Yeah, cool. All right, and you can add other ones in, and you can delete them. And then you can add more. So what have we got here? Yeah. So anyway, just so you can delete them or add more, whatever you want. So what about the order? You happy with that order? Do you want to move some up?
Yeah, I'm happy with that order actually. That's good.
Right, yeah. Next one is what specific benefits will your customers look forward to? So once they've bought your product, what can they look forward to? So we'll get past the money ones, and then we'll go to the business ones. Getting closer. Okay, so here we go.
All right. So, well, look, let's hit both feeling energetic and looking sexy.
Yep.
Let's go. Yeah, we could go feeling proud about your body.
Yeah, it's a big one, I reckon.
All right. We'll go for, say, bulking up.
Yep.
Or building muscle. Go building muscle, because it's a bit more generic.
Okay, so bulking up we'll take out. So this is obviously for a guy. Then this is the market for a guy.
Well, that's why I chose building muscle rather than bulking up, because it could be applied to women as well as men, whereas bulking up seems more of a bloke thing.
Yeah.
All right. And what else have we got? What about eating without guilt? That's a good one.
Rightio. Are you happy with the order, or do you want to add any more in?
No, I reckon that's good. Pretty good start.
Rightio. Now we're going to go to we'll enter your night name. So we'll put there you go. So what's the name of your product? Just if we can just think of a name. And an easy one is how to, if you want, how to.
Yep.
So when you had this in mind, was it how to I don't know.
When I had this in mind, I was thinking about a product for somebody who wants to get fit and healthy, but is probably either a bit lazy or not very good at staying committed to something. So, what can we come up with?
Secrets of getting fit. Of the lazy person's secrets of getting fit. Is that all right?
Yeah, that sounds great. See, we get to see you in action, Brett.
No worries. So, what's the big promise we're offering the customers here? And here it is.
That will make getting fit and staying motivated an easy process.
Okay, so we got like lose weight, learn guitar, master copywriting. So it would be
Okay.
So get fit and stay motivated.
Yep.
And stay motivated. Get fit and stay motivated. How quickly can your customer achieve this?
Let's call it a 21-day process.
Awesome. 21 days. Thanks.
Yep.
How many steps or tips will it take them to achieve this?
Well, this is good. This is good. A bit of copywriting information too, because I know that using things like 3 steps, 7 steps, 9 steps seems to work.
Correct.
But I remember hearing, and maybe I can get your opinion on this, is that it's much easier to sell 3 steps than it is to sell, say, 9 steps.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the best way is one step. You can't. One single way. But mate, look, either way, as long as there is steps or systems or secrets, ways or tricks or something, because it just makes it more tangible. Instead of saying like how to have a power pack body, you can say, 7 steps to have a power pack body, and in 4 weeks, that all of a sudden people look at it and they think, wow, I can actually just do 7 steps and in 4 weeks. It makes it more tangible instead of just saying how to have a power pack body.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We've got 21 days. Let's call it 3 steps, and then we'll You know, I mean, the product doesn't exist, but if the sales letter's good, then I'll make one.
No worries. Well, it says 3 simple steps. So the next one is, what specific results can your customer expect from your product? Now, here's what I mean. The big promise is to get fit and stay motivated. Once they've done that, what's the long-term effects that they really would love to do? So the examples underneath is, you know, make 12,000, lose 20 pounds, earn 6 figures, save 5,000.
Sure. What do we say? Lose 10 kilos or lose 9 kilos and get fit.
Okay, so we've already got get fit up there, but
okay. No worries. We'll just
let's say lose 10 kilos and keep it off.
Yeah, great.
Right. Now what I'm going to do now is press generate. Right. Now this little generate button is going to take all those answers that you've done, and it's going to randomly match it up with copywriting that I've used, and I've pulled out of my sales that is a turnover $220 million. So it's all proven and successful. It's going to marry up with the emotions, the problems, and all the specifics here. Now, I have no idea. There's like hundreds of different headlines you could choose from, and you can change them. So we don't know what it's going to turn out. Hopefully it's good, or hopefully it doesn't really matter. So let's check out what it comes up with. Keep in mind, this would usually take a pro copywriter 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what our first step. Need to get fit and stay motivated. Discover how you can quickly replace feeling frustrated and finally enjoy being motivated by following these 3 simple step solution to get fit and stay motivated in 21 days or less. So far, so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're serious about wanting to get fit and stay motivated and lose 10 kilos and keep it off, then drop everything to read this. So if you don't like that headline, you just click this little button here, and you've got over 100 different headlines to choose from.
Oh, right. Great. Okay.
So it could be 3 simple steps to get fit and stay motivated in 21 days or less. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, from an editing point of view, I don't like how the 3rd line drops to 1 word. So what I'm going to do is highlight that.
Okay.
Look at the size, crank it up to here, and it's a bit better. I might crank it up a bit more to 60. I might drop that down a line. So all of a sudden it's looking a lot better, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great.
Now you can change the font. Let's just pick another font. We'll go to impacts. Sorry, I don't know if that worked. I've got to highlight it, go to impact. We can. Looking pretty cool, isn't it? Now you can add a banner in here. You can add your own banner, or you can just delete it. We'll delete it here. If you don't like this pre-head, you can choose from dozens and dozens of different ones. Thousands of motivated, energetic people no longer worry about being overweight thanks to results like these. 3 simple steps to get fit and stay motivated in 21 days or less. I think you could get a product out of this, buddy. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
You can increase the size. You just use it like a Word doc. You've got your video ready to go. You've added testimonials. Obviously, that's just filler at the moment. So you can type in your testimonials. You can click on the image there, and you can click on the browser and upload images.
Right. So this is basically we're building an entire web page around the copy as well.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big time saver.
So you can see you can just very simple. Anyone can do this. Here's the bullet points that it's punched out. Quick and easy solution to get fit and stay motivated and lose 10 kilos and keep it off in 21 days or less. 3 simple steps to finally put an end to being overweight, being unfit, or even feeling ugly and unwanted. Sneaky tricks to start feeling proud about your body, building muscle, and even eating without guilt. Pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great.
And you can just do a little edit in here because that goes up to a capital. So you just take that. So you just do a little fine tweaking if you want there. Here it is from Mike G. Subject: How to get fit and stay motivated in 21 days and lose 10 kilos and keep it off. Now here's the opening of the letter. In just a moment, I hope to make you so angry you want to throw your computer right out the window. What I have to tell you involves the scandals that's going on with the watered down, often false information about the internet about how to get fit and stay motivated. So if you don't like that, you just click here and choose one from a dozen of different openings.
Right.
So pretty cool. Here's one. If you're ready to do whatever it takes to feel energetic, looking sexy, or even feel proud about your body, and finally stop feeling frustrated and guilty about being overweight, even if you're new to this, then this is your real chance to finally get the inside story of what it really takes starting from today. Boom. Pretty awesome, isn't it?
That's great. So it gives you lots of stuff with variation as well.
Absolutely. And here's a story. Now, you can't really template a story, but this is a pretty close one. This is a story where you say, for as long as I can remember, I had strong burning desire to start feeling energetic, building muscle, eating without guilt, and you were frustrated about being overweight, unfit, all that kind of stuff, and searched the internet and couldn't find anything, and then you found it. You got results like this, so it's pretty amazing. If you don't like it, you can choose another story. This is where you introduce the solution. And this is where the name of the product is. You can change the color. You can change the style, and size, whatever you want. It's pretty amazing.
So each of these blocks of text, to do with the story and all of that, all fit copywriting formulas that you've used successfully in the past.
Correct. Yeah. It's all there, man. And there's multiple different variations. Here's another block of bullet points. If you don't like those bullet points, scroll down and choose another bank. Little known secret to get fit and stay motivated, and most experts keep hush. What never to tell yourself if you want to start looking sexy. How to stop feeling frustrated and being overweight and start getting fast results. So it's all done for you. This is what you pay copywriters, 5, 10, 15, 25K to do for you, and it's done in just a matter of minutes. How much does this cost? You just got to enter your costs, and order buttons already there, and you can pick from different order buttons. Guarantees, if you don't like that guarantee, you can click through and pick a different one. And if you want to see how over here there's a big blank space, you just double click that and then click this thing up here, and you can add a picture, right?
Oh, okay. Yep.
Set to the right. There you go. So you can throw a picture in there. You can move him around as well. A little bit of mucking around, but yeah, you just move him around and you just have a lot of fun with it. The cool thing is, for the techies out there, you can upload it straight to WordPress or Fusion HQ, and everything's interchangeable. You can change the background and the style, so you click this little button here and you can pick another design. And also you can export it and have all the files in HTML, and you can give it to a techie person to throw the whole thing online from you. And you can do finer editing as well. But here's something else you can do, mate, which I quite love this because I'm a bit of a word nerd, but it says here, discover how you can quickly replace feeling frustrated and finally enjoy being motivated. If you want to use it, find different words for quickly, for instance, you can go to this section here, which is my copywriting thesaurus, which I uploaded, and you've got all these different emotive words you can use for hard, easy, big, small, fast. So with quickly, we've got lightning, quick, speedy, blink of an eye, lightning speed, jet powered, bullet from a gun, catapult, whipped, breakneck speed. So you can, it's pretty awesome, mate. You can really turn your copy into some really cool looking stuff. You've got punch phrases, and I know John's very good at this. Shake a stick at, hand on my heart promise, keep things hush hush, turn your back on this, wait for the dust to settle, profit avalanche, seize the massive profit potential, rare as hen's teeth. You know what I mean? It's just really, you can really add a lot of punch and life to your copy anytime you want. You can do this for different words for money, love, smart, valuable, and just some random punch words that I like thrown in there, like whopping, clean, slam, scavengers, just whatever. I'll put everything in here. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's all the stuff that really keeps people engaged and reading more, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, mate, as you can tell, it's phenomenal. It's really it's revolutionised the copywriting world. Now you can understand why. I mean, the smart copywriters are grabbing this and adding specifics and doing lots of cool stuff with it. Other copywriters are feeling a bit angry and threatened about it, but that's a little bit of scarcity mentality, because this really is something we can. The cool thing about this, Mike, is something I learned from Dan Kennedy, and that is money is attracted to speed. A lot of people fuss over getting their website up, and they just delay making money. So if you can get your website up just like in minutes, you saw how quickly it can happen, and you can start selling products straight away. And also another way people can get their save money is through saving money on traffic, because if you pay for money for traffic and it's going to a site that doesn't convert, then you can waste a lot of money. So
absolutely.
So that's yep.
The other thing that I'm noticing or thinking about this too is that it's there's obviously not everyone's going to be able to afford an expensive copywriter, and if they can, you pay $5,000 or $10,000 or more for a single sales letter, which takes time. Whereas this, we've built one in probably 20 minutes. Give it another 10 or 15 more tweaking, and you can just do it over and over again.
Absolutely, mate. You're spot on. You can just click this button here, and it takes you to your list of sales letters, and you can re-edit it. You can do a duplicate copy and do split testing if you just want to try a different headline. You can click renew, and it can just do a whole fresh new renew of all the copy and see what it spits out, and so on and so forth. It's
I guess too that list of 100 headlines that it created could also be really excellent for plugging into like a Google AdWords campaign or a Facebook campaign or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually separated the headline here, so you can click on headline creator, and that'll just that'll specifically do headlines, and you can use it for bullet points and all that as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. Very, very proud of it, and it really is a money-making tool for people, because people will pay, $2, $3, the lower end will pay, $2,000, $3,000 for a good sales letter, and you can, people can punch out a sales letter like in half an hour, and that's pretty good money. If you can, you can find people who are looking for sales letters, and also. You can sell as many as you want, and this is a web-based program, so as long as you've got the internet, you can access it through any computer.
Yeah.
Cool. So, it's pretty hot. Is it okay if I talk about the price and
yeah. Look, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. Like not only is it saving the cost of going and hiring a copywriter, but you factor in the time spent, even trying to do it yourself, not even if you have to learn it from scratch, but if you've already had some practice, the time spent is saved. The time saved, I mean, is massive, because it's all of these take time. Like even writing a sales letter that's half decent is still going to take hours and hours. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. How do we get a hold of it?
Well, mate, the thing is, as you know, I've been in the industry for nearly a decade now. I'm surrounded by some of the best marketers in the country. So the topic of price has come up a lot, and they advised me I could easily sell it for $3,000 because one sale that is worth that by itself, and you can write endless amounts. But mate, I kept it lower because I remember what it's like just starting out and understanding that there's in business you just often you can get in the habit of pouring more money into things before you get a return. So we've kept it at a low rate of 997, so third of the price that's been recommended. And for people who really need a bit of a help with it, you can get 3 monthly payments at 397. But the return on the money, as you mentioned, the return on money you can get from this, it's just a one cost. It's a lifetime membership. You don't have to. There's no ongoing renewals or every year you've got to pay more money. It's probably smarter if we did, but we didn't. You just buy it once and that's it. Mate, like I said, if you can find one person to create a sales letter and sell it for $1,000, you can make your money back straight away. Do it multiple times, you've just double, triple your money. Getting your product online super fast. Money's attracted to speed, and it's high converting, which is great. You can tweak it anytime you want, and also saving money on traffic is another way it'll show a good return on your investment. So, but also my vision for CopySniper is not just give people access to punch out sales letters. I want to educate and train people this skill because it really does pay you for life. So inside CopySniper there's extra training. I've done when I did those seminars called the 7-hour sales letter. There's a 3-day seminar where you can watch DVDs of me teaching you how I craft a sales letter. Now you think, why would I want to do that if I can just use CopySniper? Look, that's true, but understand it's a skill that can pay you for life, and when you become good at copywriting, you become very, very valuable to any business owner and your own business. And also you can use it with everything, like writing emails, phone scripts, video scripts, face-to-face selling. It's just an amazing skill. Even getting money out of people with letters. Anytime you write, it's an amazing, profitable skill. So I've got training videos there. I've also got some videos which I've never made public anywhere else, and that is how I come up with the big ideas. And that's where my $1 million ideas come from. I've got a process that I go through to come up with ideas, and I've done six 20-minute video training on what I do to do that. And also inside there's a couple of campaigns that I've done. The campaign I talked about where I took a product and took it from $498 to $1,498 just by improving the copy. I've got I'm uploading that in there with the sales letters, the newspaper ads, the emails, and I'm also doing a training inside, which is if you want to be a copywriter, how to be a copywriter or a freelancer and things like that. So there's a lot everyone gets for the $997. It's just pay once and that's it. But the cool thing is it's the return on your money in this, and even if you just factor in how much time you save, like you said, man, that's pretty awesome. So
potentially somebody could go out and get one client and write a sales letter for them using this software and have it paid off.
Correct. Yeah. Even if you want to do something ridiculous and sell a sales letter for $500, then just find 2 people who want to sell it for $500, and you got your money back, and then CopySniper's for free for every day after that.
Yeah.
And it's not too hard.
Absolutely.
Not too hard to find people who will pay $500 or $1,000 for a sales letter because people hate doing it. They don't want to spend a month staring at a blank screen. So if you can offer them a quick solution, then they'll love you forever, and you can just quickly put bucks in your bank.
And at the end of the day, like we've seen how fast that took. Like if you charge them $500 for a sales letter and you did 2 of them, it's going to take you 2 hours absolute max, and they get a bonus website built around it as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you're spot on. It's like it is phenomenal. Already a lot of the CopySniper community of people who've already invested in this are just raving fans, and they just think it's the best thing ever. And one thing I forgot to say, I'm always going to be uploading new copy, so new examples. I've already got yesterday we got I think probably 24 more chunks of copy, and 5 more stories to put in there, 8 more calls to actions to put in there. So if you don't like the sample that it suggests, you can just scroll through and just pick another one. So I'm always going to be uploading copy that I personally write.
So if anyone wants to find out more about it, if they want to go and read Bret's sales letter, you'll find it there at this link, internetphenomenon.com/copy. So with you adding more content, Bret, you still basically it's developing further and further as time goes on. So it's not like it's just
yeah, absolutely. But it's definitely it's something it's not something I'm just going to walk away from, and it's something I'm very proud of, and I've got a big vision to do more and more. I won't go into what I've got in mind, but we really want to automate some emails and video scripts, keep on adding a lot more content, and make the usability a lot easier. I think it's pretty easy already, but our teams just want to make it the best product in the world. We've just got expectation or an attitude like Apple. It has to be excellence, and that's it.
So at the moment, I noticed that you're in a launch process at the moment. Are you going to be closing the door at some point to just sort of lock it down for a little while, or what's the story there?
Yeah, we are on the on the 30th is when the launch is going to be closed. We just take on a bunch of members at a time, and then we deal with them with customer service. So the kind of the doors for Copy Sniper are only open for the next 3 days, and then after that it's going to be closed probably till sometime in the new year. We just don't know yet, but we just want to kind of work with the members that we have, and then just keep it clicking. So it's just to keep a handle on customer service.
Yeah. So it's the 28th today, Thursday the 28th. So basically, you're going to shut the doors on Saturday. Is that right?
Well, so it will actually be Sunday because it's actually US time. Our partners are a lot of our markets in the US. So it's actually Sunday is your last day to grab it. So look, I encourage people to jump on it right now. Again, $997. It's just a once-off payment, or if you want there's split payments for three payments of $997, which is going to help you over Christmas. But it's smart to jump on right now.
Yeah, listen, I really want to thank you for your time and thank you for your patience. I know we've had some technical dramas this morning, and clearly it's just in the air today. So we've persisted. Yeah. We've managed to capture everything that we wanted to capture. So I'm really happy with having taken the time to do that, and appreciate your time to hang out with us.
No, my pleasure, mate. It's been fun, and look, I'll have to send that sales letter to you so you can start making money from it.
Yeah, that's great. I'll have to start thinking about what's going to be in the product.
Awesome.
Working from the other end.
Yeah. All right, great sharing with you, buddy.
All right. Thanks very much, Bret. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, mate. Bye.
Bye.